Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to Fire Talk, where we take a look around at what is happening in the world of Southeastern University athletics. I'm your host, Ken Ingle, president of Southeastern University, and joining me, as always, is my co-host and director of athletics, Drew Watson. How is it, Drew?
Going well. It's been cool.
It has been.
I love this weather.
It's been great, but not quite as cold as I spent the last week in Ohio, and it was 19 degrees. In fact, it snowed on us one day. So, yeah, we don't get to enjoy that kind of weather here, but at least we get some cooler weather, that's for sure. And I know all of our athletes love cooler weather.
Absolutely.
So very important. We have a special guest today, head track and field coach Nick Dodson. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you.
Great to have you on the show today. And Nick, you're coming fresh off winning our first ever national championship in men's indoor track. And tell us what that's. I mean, we showed the clip the last time that we had Fire Talk, and that was an amazing. And, of course, to see your enthusiasm and your excitement and all of that. So tell us, what's that like to win a national championship like that?
Ah, man, it's the journey. I think we kind of embraced the journey, and we look back on that. We kind of enjoyed the journey more than the title, as far as I was telling Drew the other day, man, it really just started to set in. And I think we just kind of reflected on the entire journey from us starting in 2019 up to right now, and the heartbreaker that we had last season in outdoors kind of was in control to win that one, and things didn't kind of go our way, and then we lost, and then the one event that kind of cost us was the event that clinched us this time. So it's just looking at the overall journey and the direction God had for the program, and how He allowed us to kind of see the fruits of our labor was pretty darn cool.
Yeah, no, amazing to see what's happening, and of course our track and field team had quite the week last week. How many athletes qualified for the NAIA standards?
Yeah, we had 20 standards. Wow. So they kind of ranged. Majority of them were A standards. A means automatic, so that puts them automatically at the national championships. B standard is sort of like a standby ticket at the airport, so you can get in or you may not. A lot of it's either top 16 at the national meet or the coach's decision on I can pick any three standards, any three B standards per female, per male. So we kind of put the highest ranked B standard usually goes for us. But we've been a team, been blessed since 2019. We majority have automatic standards, and that's kind of where we go to make sure that we're automatically in the championships.
Yeah. Now, you compete against some amazing teams. I mean, little known college up, is it South Carolina, Clemson?
Yeah, Clemson.
You run against them, and who else do you all get to run against?
Yeah, this the last meet we had, we faced Ohio State, Minnesota. We actually beat Minnesota in a few events. We ran Ohio State to the line in a few events. And so we're just blessed that, some of these institutions give us the opportunity because we feel that we're just as good as those guys and girls. And we just want to have the opportunity to be able to display the God-given gifts that have been given to us, but also sport the Fire logo in Southeastern. The coaches from Ohio State and Minnesota come up to me and say, where are you guys from?
Yeah, and your leadership is a huge, that's what's making the difference. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, we are doing so well against these major universities that I heard a rumor that some of them don't want to compete against us.
That is true. There's some meets that they don't let us in. And so sometimes it's a little frustrating for us and the athletes, but then we also look at it as in we're headed in the right direction. So we feel that if we put our kids up against the quote-unquote the best in the country, that, when we come up against, our competition at the national meet, it's nothing we haven't seen all year. And I think that's what really helped us propel this season for the indoor national championship.
I think one of the things I appreciated about you as I've gotten to know you and watched you coach is that you always coach with a perspective. And so I think you gain that from your years of competing, because in athletics you have success and you have failure, and you've always got to keep the big picture in mind.
Yes.
And so, you are, as we saw, as Dr. Ingle mentioned, we watched you go nuts, almost kill Coach Lambert and, run across the track. So there's a lot of emotion involved, but a key to success is harnessing that emotion.
Right.
And so I really appreciate the perspective you bring in being there with you at the loss at Outdoor last spring, and hearing how you approached that with your guys, even though your heart was breaking.
Yep.
It was a perspective piece. let's just look at where we're at, look at where we've come from, and look at where we're going. Let's keep that in mind and not just focus on a loss.
Yes.
So I appreciate that about you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and we use it as life skills. Our goal is to not just win championships at Southeastern. We're going to transform their lives through Christ, and we want to be able to have them where when they get out in the real world, they're ready. Yeah. And so sometimes these defeats and sometimes the tough tasks that we have to go through, it's just shaping them and getting them ready for when they leave here as a graduate and become great mother and father and husband and wife one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why you're such an amazing coach, that's what you instill in our athletes. And so we're so grateful. Phenomenal performances by our track and field team. Great job to you and to everybody. Very proud of everyone. Tomorrow, the men and women head to UCF for the Knights Invitational. What will the field look like this weekend, Coach?
It'll be another good field. I know Clemson will be in town. UCF has always been great to us, and we appreciate Coach Dana Boone and her staff. They've never shied away from letting us in. They welcome us in with open arms, and they tell us, bring your people. Yeah. And so we're just really appreciative. But it'll be a lot of spring break teams, just like last week, that are coming from up north. So we're going to see some Big Ten, SEC, ACC, even some like Princeton and Dartmouth and some of these others that are coming down as well. So it's just really cool to be able to compete against some of the other institutions too, because sometimes because of travel, we see Kaiser and Weber and Warner and St. Thomas and those people. Right. We see them every week, and it's almost like a conference matchup before conference. So we want to be able to see some other competition, and then once we get together for our conference championships, then, we'll see that group.
Well, don't do too well. You want to go back. You want to go back to that event.
We want to keep
that's right.
back.
I know. It's like
it's a catch-22 there.
It is. Yep. It is. But, man, you must be having so much fun as you build into these students' lives and see them grow spiritually and academically and just in so many ways, but then just to see them be champions on the on the track as well. So grateful to you and your leadership.
Thank you.
Well, we've got some other great sports to talk about, too. Men's basketball. The Firemen's basketball put up quite the fight in the NAIA tournament, where we entered the tournament as an 11 seed in the Kramer quadrant. And that was in the first round, where we beat Union. Also had 2 losses to that point in the season. Was that against Union? Or
no, the Union only had 2 losses.
2 losses
all
okay.
season.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we were able to beat them. The second round featured a matchup with Faulkner University on their home court. And after trailing by 7 at halftime, the Fire came roaring back, which they do all the time, right?
They do.
They seem to have they start slow, but they know how to come from behind. And again, they did that after halftime, being down by 7, came roaring back to beat the Eagles on their home court to punch their ticket to Kansas City. I think that score was 65-61.
It was.
To make the final round of 16 for the first time since 2014, where we went to the Final Four, actually, right? In that. So, amazing journey for them.
Yeah, I think what they did is they had a picture of you leaving the gym that they put in the locker room at halftime.
Right?
Yeah,
I know. I feel so bad, but I watched the first half and go, this is ridiculous. I'm out of here. I can't watch this anymore. And I take off, and then I check the score again, and they, lo and behold, come back and win.
Yep.
And I missed the great second half.
Well, it was an exciting, Faulkner, we were up at Faulkner in late December and lost by 23 points.
Wow.
And so for our team to go up there and to avenge that loss,
exactly.
I'm sure Faulkner's thinking, oh, we got these guys. Right. We're going to Kansas City. But that's not our team. Our team is unified. They play well together, and just really excited to see them celebrate. I called Coach and a couple of them after the game. They were just bouncing off the walls, just really excited. And to see them, I mean, they were cold. It was cold in Kansas City. I think it was in the teens. And I asked them, how you doing? It's cold.
Yeah, it's cold, for sure.
But they, just so proud of them, for the season that they had.
Now, although we fell in that opening round of the Final 16 to Ottawa, the next game of the tournament, there was quite a play in that tournament that was pretty spectacular in that game. Actually made the top 10 ESPN plays.
Sportscenter top 10.
Sportscenter top 10, which is amazing. I think we have the clip, right?
Yeah. We're going to watch it
Let's
right
roll
now.
Catching's in
Great play by Mull here to pick his pocket and then navigate a defender around his back, and the rest is history.
What an amazing and it looks like they've done that before, right? I mean, they've kind of executed.
See, I've coached about that kind of stuff happens before coach gets in the gym.
Yeah.
Coaches walking. Oh yeah, we're shooting our free throws, coach. We're good.
But it was so good in the moment of that game to be able to live out that play, and of course made the Sportscenter top 10, which was pretty good for us.
Pretty impressive to see Southeastern in that top 10.
Yeah, that's cool.
And Riley Minix was named a first-team All-American for the second year in a row, which makes him the first SEU men's basketball player to ever do that. He also went over the 2,000-point and 1,000 rebound milestones late in the season. So big congratulations to Riley. Now, I hear a couple of NBA teams have actually scouting him.
There were some Magic scouts in the room at one of our games, and I believe the Knicks. I may be wrong. I believe the Knicks were the other one.
Clippers. Clippers.
No Clippers.
I need to make a phone call out there. See what's going on.
But Riley has another year of eligibility. And so he's graduating with his undergrad degree, and we're hoping, we'd like him to come back.
Yep.
As a lot of undergrads do, and it's no offense to their alma mater undergrad, they like to have a different experience for that 1 year of eligibility they've got left when they take graduate classes. So, he is under 100 points from being the all-time leading scorer at Southeastern. And so hopefully,
be great to have him back.
Be great to have him back. Not just, the thing with Riley is he's not just a great player, he's a great person.
Yes.
And I told him that last week, like, hey, I want you back, but if you were, kind of a terrible person, a great player, I really wouldn't want you back.
Yeah.
We just love having you around. And so, we're praying for wisdom for him, but we really hope that he comes back.
No, that would be awesome. He has a great family, and they're always at every game, and just love them. So so proud of Riley, and proud of the entire team and the work they did this season. Man, they did well. And it's proud. So good. Yep. Softball. Our softball team swept Warner last weekend to push their winning streak to 11. We are undefeated in the Sun Conference at 6-0. What do you think?
We've 11 in a row, as you said. As we've talked about on this show, they started slow. And Coach always said, we've just got to get some innings under us. Once we do that, I think we're going to be okay. And she knows her team. Yeah. They've played well. They've got a big series this weekend at St. Thomas, who has a very good overall record. They're 4-2 in conference. And so we hope to see this thing keep going. This team they've got a lot of passion and energy, as you heard from Leah last week, and really have a great time playing the game and enjoying each other's company. And so I'm just, you love to root for a team like that. It brings passion to the field every day. So really hoping they do well this weekend, keep this rolling.
And being in the national media hasn't intimidated them at all.
No.
They've been on practically every show in the nation.
They have. They just keep rolling through it. Yeah. So really happy for them.
So good. And then turning to golf, our women's golf team claimed their fourth title of the season with a win at the Golden Tiger Invitational. Marley Smith took second place as our top player. The men's golf team tied for seventh at the William Carey Invitational with Matthew Soshanik. And leading the team with 7 over total of 223.
Well, Marley and Matthew were players of the week this week in the Sun Conference, and so they were honored there. Now, the one thing about this tournament, it was cold. And Coach was like, I said, congratulations. It was cold. He didn't even say thank you. He just said, it was cold. And he felt like this was a great prep for now the men for the Nationals are in Arizona. So they're not going to have issues with weather.
Sure.
Yeah.
The women are in Illinois, and the men have been there before, and I've been there, and it can get
still
cold
in Illinois.
So it was really good to see the teams fight through this, and for the women to win it, despite the elements that they faced.
Yeah, and the women's team, they're going to be returning at the Music City Invite in Tennessee on Monday, and then the men head to Dalton State in 2 weeks.
Yep. They both have one tournament left before conference at the end of April.
All right. Well, let's turn to baseball. Our Fire baseball team, our national champion baseball team, swept the 3-game series against Weber in the first Sun Conference action of the season after scoring 32 runs in the first 2 games. Fire needed some late-inning heroics in Game 3, and I believe they produced those.
And here's what happened:
heroics.
we were down 2-1 in the 9th. We scored 32 runs, as you said, in 2 games. It's like 2-1 in the ninth. We just scored 1 run in 9 innings.
They've been running it up.
What happened? But it's 2-1 in the ninth. There's 1 out, 1 man on, and Josh Pagozzo steps to the plate.
You have the highlight here.
Yes.
I think we have the highlight.
Here it is.
Here it is.
Now, there's some details about this when you watch it that are, when the pitcher knows it's gone, as soon as it's hit, his reaction.
It's a 4-game hit streak for Josh Pagozzo.
And this is a hanging breaking ball
for 2 hits and
that Pagozzo jumps all over.
Oh, look at that.
February 16th at Oklahoma Wesleyan.
Look at the
that
shortstop.
ball driven deep into center, and it's going to be gone for
Look at the poor
Southeastern. Josh Pagozzo, who was 0 for 4 to start things off.
Well, I'm sure. We're now 30-1. We're the number 1 ranked team in the country. And when you've got us on the ropes, you just hope, we're going to knock off number 1 today.
Momentum.
When that happens, it's devastating.
Yeah.
And so, we've got some momentum here, and just really excited to see as conference play continues. We play Warner tomorrow and Saturday on our next conference series, but. I don't know if we have 5 top 10 teams right now.
In our conference.
Yes, in the nation. We've got baseball at number 1. We've got men's tennis as the number 5 ranked team in the country. Women's tennis is number 6. Wow. Women's golf is number 6, and men's golf's number 10.
That's
amazing. Spring
cool.
sports are really, we've got a national champion in indoor track. So, spring sports are really bringing it home right now.
Do you have anything to do with that a little bit, Drew?
I don't think so.
I think you do.
Good leadership.
Good leadership. So grateful for athletic director and how he discerns building teams.
Thank you.
And getting coaches, and it's just amazing. Tennis, let's talk about that. In our game against Brunel, our women's tennis team put up quite the performance in the singles match. Martina Picardi and Beatrice Letiza and Abby Damon won all their matches in dominating fashion. Tell us a little bit about that. Were you at the matches?
I was not. I will be here. I will be there this weekend. This weekend's big for tennis. It's kind of their Super Bowl this weekend because they've got number 15 on the men's side, number 15 St. Thomas Friday, number 1 Kaiser coming in Saturday, and on the women's side, it's number 11 St. Thomas and number 1 Kaiser. Wow. And so, this is a big weekend for them. As I said earlier, we're both ranked in the top 10 now. And when you're Coach Dickens, you're building your team to be able to knock off Kaiser.
Yep.
And so this is something they've been working for not only this year, but as he's recruited and talked to his guys and just, so it's going to be really fun to see how we show up. It is a home match, which isn't obviously on campus, but at the Bierman Tennis Complex over on Edgewood Road. So, it's really exciting to see what coaches Dickens, because it's Drew and Kelsey are teaming up on that, on coaching those teams. And, just really happy for him and the job the tennis teams are doing right now.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job since he's taken over. His office is right beside mine, and just watching his progression and how he's built his team, and so is Kayla in softball. I had a chance to talk to her, and so I'm excited about their wins because she told me at the first of the year when they started slow, she said, "Nick, if we can just get some rhythm, it's we'll have a game here and then we don't have a game," and so it's just pretty cool to watch all of our coaches, especially the ones that are turning their programs around. It's just really cool to watch, and then we all support each other too. So,
well, and it's cool in Drew's case. It's cool to see an alum who went through
right.
When the first week I was here, we used to take a retreat down to Sarasota, and I met Drew as a freshman. And to have him now be the coach of the tennis team who's turning this around, and it's just so rewarding for me to see, just knowing him for so long, and the effort and passion he puts into everything he does.
Yeah, no, that's exciting. All of our sports teams, we're just grateful for how they're winning, but also grateful for how they're growing as a person. And of course, that's what we do. We help these athletes integrate their faith with their learning so that they can apply it to everyday life. Yes. And that's so important.
Well, and you talked about me earlier, so I'm going to shoot it right back at you. None of this happens without leadership at the presidential level, and the way that you enable all of this to happen and lead by example. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Well, as we close out today, I want to say thank everybody for listening. Let's get out and support the tennis teams tomorrow and Saturday in those big matches. Make sure you visit SUFire.com for the latest news in Fire athletics. You can find the calendar there as well as link to watch all of our home games. But thank you, everyone, for supporting the Fire. Go Fire!
Go Fire!
Fire!